My name is Lauren Spear, and you're listening to the HorrorFam.com podcast. My guest today is Craig Layton, and if you haven't heard of him already, he's on Twitter and Instagram as BadPhotoshopGuy, but you may not recognize the handle because you're probably more familiar with his videos where he portrays Michael Myers in very hilarious everyday situations. And I have been enjoying those videos for several months now, and I reached out to Craig and was like, I love these videos, they always cheer me up, and would you please come on and talk about them? And he agreed, and here he is. So hi Craig, welcome to the show.
Well, hello, thanks for having me here. This is exciting. Exciting that you actually reached out to me and would consider me guest worthy on your great podcast. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, so Photoshop guy. Most people see you as just, Michael Myers doing weird things, but when they actually try to find you, you're a little hard to find sometimes. So
yeah, it is like I had someone point that out to me actually, because when I started on Twitter, I actually made bad Photoshops. That's kind of was a little hobby I had where I take myself and my friends and I'd Photoshop them into famous movie scenes. So like I had one that I said I broke character a couple weeks ago for an episode of The Last Drive-In, and they were doing the Cannibal Holocaust, and I actually was one of the bad Photoshops I did where I Photoshopped my face on one of the dead bodies that were impaled in the beach. So that's what I started doing, and then I got away from that and started doing the Michael Myers videos that I do now, which completely have nothing to do with my Twitter handle, right? So it does confuse people, absolutely, right? Because people tend to say, hey, did you see that Michael Myers guy, right? And then people will search for Michael Myers, and if you actually enter Twitter, enter the word Michael Myers, you get so many hits on people who already had that name. So people suggested that I change it. I'm really afraid of change, So it's because what if I branch it to something else and then I decide to branch out? But it's this social media. I'm an old man, so social media ins and outs are not my thing. Right. So I'm excited. I'm just happy that people have stumbled across me and seen for the most part and enjoyed what I'm doing, because I have a lot of fun making these videos.
That was actually one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, because, you're Craig Layton, the man behind the mask, and if you ever want to do something else, and you're absolutely free to do so, as much as I enjoy your Michael Myers videos, you're always free to do your own thing, but I thought that it would be good if people could recognize not just, oh, there's Michael Myers on Twitter, they could be like, oh, there's Craig Layton as Michael Myers, and Craig Layton is the man who is doing these wonderful creative things that are cheering us all up in these really strange, hard times.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I do my best to stay in character on the Twitter. Like I found my Twitter account, I tried to define it too. Like, am I a parody account? Am I not? Because there's a lot of Michael Myers out there, and there's some people doing some wonderful stuff, right? Like I'm not alone in what I do, but there's people out there who like to keep the persona real, that they're the actual character, right? So some people do that, and that's kind of not me. Like I try and stay hidden because of how, like, I'm not like super successful at this by any means, right? Like I just enjoy doing it, and it started as just entertaining myself. But I get worried that, like, if I do change it up, are people who do seem to, I have a very loyal following for what I do have on it, and it's always like, well, I'm afraid to change now. Can I take the mask off? Would people still find what I do entertaining or humorous? But I don't have any immediate plans of removing the masks, so I'm gonna keep on trucking away at making these things. And it's interesting because, like, you talk about these trying times, and that's what started this for me. Me wearing a Michael Myers mask and doing things isn't new. It's just new that, like, anybody that knows me, like my family, my community, they're kind of accustomed to seeing this, because I get that a lot of my videos too. It's like, oh my God, what do your neighbors think, right? And response is, well, it's another day, right? Because I do this. Like I would go out and mow my lawn dressed like it, and I get chuckles from the neighbors and stuff. It's just when COVID started and the lockdown started, I used it as a way to just pass the time. So I decided to turn the camera on myself and do mundane things in it. And so as much as I'm glad that I seem to have a bit of a following. People are enjoying what I'm doing. I make no bones about this. Like if I didn't enjoy making the videos, I wouldn't be doing it. So I'm glad people are enjoying them. But at the end of the day, it's if I find it amusing and I do it and I watch it and I go, I think that's going to be funny. And that's my benchmark. I have to think it's humorous before I post it. And then whatever the audience that I'm trying to find, whatever they think about it, that's bonus if they enjoy it and support it. If they don't, I respect that as well, right? But at the end of the day, it's I enjoy doing it, and I started solely to pass the time and amuse myself. And it took my family a bit to get into it as well, right? Because my wife, she's a big supporter and a big help for it, because like a lot of stuff that that if I need to put the camera in motion to follow me, right? Like all I have is I use my cell phone in the tripod, right? So if I do in motion, I get her to film it. And in the early days, it was like, really? I don't want to do this, really? And now she's moved up, and she's made appearances in some of the videos too, right? So it's fun that they're taking it. The only person who really kind of hasn't gravitated to really digging what I'm doing is my 12-year-old daughter, right? Because she's 12, right? So
Yeah.
she's turning into a teenager, and she's in the age where, oh my God, Dad, you're so embarrassing. And
Yeah.
in case anybody's wondering, I'm probably more strange in my everyday life than I actually am in the videos, because I just enjoy life, right? Like I like to have fun, I like to joke around and entertain. So I am the dad you will see dancing in a grocery aisle. My daughter hates it. And she yells at me when I start doing it or walks away, but I will. And my thing is, like, if they don't want you dancing in a grocery aisle, why are they playing music, right? It's simple as that. And I'm pretty sure every parent can probably relate to that that we're saying there. Like, yeah, I have children and they're starting in the teenage years. The last thing they want to do is be seen with you, let alone seen with you dancing in a grocery store.
Well, sometimes they play good stuff. You can't help it.
Exactly. Well, I'm a slave to the 80s. I love the 80s,
me too.
Right? So,
Yeah.
And that's a lot of stuff you're hearing in grocery stores and stuff. It's not always current music. It's the old retro stuff. And I grew up on that stuff, and I just love it.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh, but sorry, we're going off about 80s music, but
yeah, I ran.
you've been on YouTube since about 2009,
Yep.
and you pretty much kind of first put on the mask and started filming yourself as Michael Myers, off and on, a little over a year ago. But it wasn't until about 3 months ago, when the lockdown really hit, everywhere, that you really started putting out the Michael Myers videos, and the first one that I remember seeing was the one with the hand washing.
Yep, that's one of the earlier ones, of course. Yep.
Yeah, that was the first one I came across. I was gonna say, it's just so comforting that it's like it really drives home we're all in this together. Like even the monsters, the killers are in quarantine and having to deal with the pandemic, and I thought that was just really cool.
Yeah, it's my YouTube, and I do have a YouTube, so if everybody can please go visit that, that'd be super cool. YouTube, Mr. Craig Layton. I've been involved in film most of my life, all right? So I have a lot of stuff on my YouTube that I get away from a lot of this, and my YouTube is very underutilized. But I used to make stuff and been in some TV shows, and I've been in some films, and I would make my own little films. And there's some really old stuff on my YouTube that when I was more active, that if you really want to go back into the past of what I was like, I actually have a video made on Halloween, I think probably 5 years ago, where I pretended to get a pumpkin stuck on my head, and I had the mother-in-law try and beat it off with a baseball bat, right? And that's still on my YouTube. I actually have one of my featured videos, but that one got a lot of attention, right? But there was a trend too, right? Like there's a lot. You Google head stuck in pumpkin. There's a million of them, right? So it's the Michael Myers, like I said, it really kicked into gear during COVID. And I kind of set some expectations that I don't think I can still live up to. And what I mean by that is when I first started doing this during lockdown, I was seriously for probably a good 2 months. I was releasing a video a day, and that's very hard to keep up, to be original and creative when your benchmark is I got to put a video out each day, right? So in the early days, it was easy. It was like, okay, I'm gonna vacuum the basement, right? And I have video of me vacuuming the basement, mopping the floors, doing laundry, like the really simple, mundane things. And then you try and get more creative, and then I tried. It is like, okay, we are in lockdown, which led to the hand washing video as well, right? Where I wash my hands and I talk about wearing it, the importance of wearing a mask, you know, which is very relevant, right? Especially right now, where there's a big push to educate people to wear masks in public. There's legislation being put in place in different cities that it's mandatory, and people are fighting it and this and that. But that was probably one of the earlier ones that I did was, you know, encouraging people to wear a mask. And of course, the joke of it is, I say wear a mask, wear a Michael Myers mask, because everybody knows you can't kill the boogeyman. Like, that's the joke of the video, right? And so it was easy to do simple little things, right? Like I even did a bit about playing along with the fictitious toilet paper shortage we have, right? So I have a video of Michael Myers on the toilet realizing he has no toilet paper. Right? These are simple little things that I had the avenue to do because I was taking what was really going on in the world and, like you said, put a little twist on it. Like, we watch these movies, we're all horror fans, and you know, secretly, if you really don't buy into a franchise or a character, you know, you have that thought. Oh, I wonder what they're doing when they're not on that special day. On Halloween, what does he do? Of course, in the movies, we have him locked up in an institution, right? But what if he wasn't? What would he be doing? He only kills one day. You know, he's still got laundry to do, right? He still has to have a shower. Like little things like that started. And then I like to think it kind of grew into more interesting plays on things. Like, you know, one of my more popular ones of recent is me trying to use a chainsaw like Leatherface, right? And,
Yeah.
and of course, you know, that's the play on is that, well, he doesn't even know how to start the chainsaw. Like, that's the thing. I always start with kind of, honestly, I don't put a lot of thought into my videos. 9 times out of 10, I come up with an idea and I wait for the availability of the time in my thing. And that's, of course, now with lockdown down and works opening, unfortunately, I have less time to make the videos. So making daily videos is very difficult for me at this point. But most of them are just like, oh, I have an idea. I'm going to do this. Let's go shoot it. Right. And because I have the fortune of portraying a character who doesn't have to speak, I don't actually do a lot of takes. 90% of the videos I have are all through the one take. I just shoot it, do it, and then I play around with the editing if we had to clean something up, and then I release it because I don't have dialogue, right? So I don't have lines to mess up, which is really makes it a lot easier.
That
right?
was
But
a smart choice, yeah.
yeah, well, it is. Like a friend,
Yeah,
like
the other day you were telling me that you liked that you chose a character who power walks and doesn't have to run or do anything
I'm a
to.
very lazy man. I am. I don't want to have to run around my yard doing it, right? But it's just, I'm just trying to have fun with it. And it hits a point now where, like I said, like I have a loyal following and I'm very appreciative of my followers. Like I just asked a question the other day, like on Twitter. I'm just a honest thought is like, I appreciate every view I get, right? So if I get 100 views, I appreciate every single one of them. And if I get lucky and I get one that gets up like to 40,000 or 100,000 views, I actually appreciate every single one of those views. I appreciate every follower I get. I appreciate every like. I try to do my best to respond to every single comment I get, which is a lot easier when I don't have tens of thousands of followers, right? And I have the people out there who have like 60,000 followers who are super interactive on Twitter. Like, I don't know how they do it. I really don't, because there's
I
times
don't know either.
where like if I have a video that seems to be taking off and I'm getting lots of comments, like I joked to my wife, like, I'm just going to give you my phone while I'm working. You're going to be my social media coordinator. You're going to respond to these things, right? Because sometimes it gets time consuming. So I don't know how they do it, right? But there's also people that, and my question was like, are super successful YouTubers, do they remember the days when it was exciting to have 11 views on YouTube? Because 11 people watched it. Like that's, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older or I've been doing this for a long time and I know success, I know failures, and I actually don't consider what I'm doing a success at all by any means, but I appreciate it. And it means the world to me that someone actually took the time to watch it, hit the like button, and like to comment or to retweet is like, it's amazing. Like when people retweet my videos with a quote, I always like the first comment on it of thank you, I appreciate this, thank you for retweeting, because it's hard to find an audience in this vast social world, because like I said, I'm not unique with what I'm doing. There's other people that do similar things, but I don't know, I'm going to toot my own horn here, but if people are curious, I'm genuine. I'm actually, honestly, when I say this, I appreciate every time somebody watches a video. Every time someone, like, I sit there and I watch the views. It's like, oh wow, this one seems weird. Like there'll be days like I'll be driving with the wife and the phone will be there, and then my phone would just start like ding 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 because I didn't turn notifications off, right? Ding ding ding, and she goes, "You put a video up today, didn't you?" I said, "Oh yeah, I did." Wow, it seems to be doing pretty good. And then there's times where I put up a video and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. And it's like tumbleweed blowing through my Twitter feed. Nobody. And there's a video that I had that I was always amazed it didn't catch on because I thought it was a riot, but it's just never really caught on. And it was, have you seen my karaoke one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
Really?
And honestly, it is. It's one of my favorite ones. It's simple. It's like Michael's bored. It was one of the earlier ones I made too, where Michael's bored with Michael wants to sing karaoke. Michael doesn't talk. So how does he sing? He like breathes to the rhythm of the song. And of course, I chose a Journey song, right? Which is one of the most popular karaoke songs ever. Nothing. Nothing. No love for that one. Really? Come on, people. This is clever.
One of our cats has like fused vocal cords, which is I guess it's common if they're inbred, and that's the noise that she makes when she's like really excited about something, like instead of purring. So that's kind of what that one reminded me of.
I'm just gonna get you to send me sound loops of that, and that's gonna become the new breathing for my character.
It's actually a happy cat, but yeah.
That's funny too, Darko cats though, right? Like, I got a couple of videos where I have my cat in it and I have a dog in it, and the internet really does love cats.
Oh yeah.
Right? I can just put a video of me holding my mask, holding my cat and petting it. And that gets traction. I got one that I'm trying to play with it because I have one cat that actually real name is Jamie Lee Purtis. My daughter hates that name.
I was going to ask about that actually, if that was her real name or just a joke name that you made for the cat's character.
No, I'm going to tell you the true story behind this cat. I have 2 dogs that are rescue dogs that we adopted that my wife sent me pictures one day and said, oh, what do you think with these dogs? I said, oh, they're cute. I'm not lying. I came home from work that day. They were in my house. We now own 2 dogs. And those dogs are Chris and Farley, which is lost on the young generation because a lot of the young generation don't know the comedian Chris Farley, right? So that's their names are Chris and Farley.
That's very funny.
2 other cats, right? And they're rescue cats as well, right? So I get no say in the pets in here. Of course, I love the pets now. They're all here. I love them all. But the last one, Jamie Lee Purtis, was a cat we adopted a year ago. I was the only one available to pick it up. So my signature is on the legal adoption papers of this cat. So the cat's name was Moo Moo. My daughter came home and said, oh, this is Shooky. And I said, no, honey, this is my cat. Here's a legal document. It says Jamie Lee Purtis. So it's a joke, of course, just to irritate. But her legal name is Jamie Lee Purtis. My daughter will call her Shooky. My wife will call her Shooky. I'm the only one called her Jamie Lee Purtis.
Aw. So clearly you're a genuine Halloween fan. How'd that come about? Like, what made you drawn to Halloween, and what made you decide, yeah, Michael Myers, that guy, that's who I'm gonna be?
Yeah, it is interesting. It is my favorite character. I don't care. I'm gonna date my age here. I was born in '73. There's 3 horror movies that I have the earliest memory of seeing, okay? And I can't really tell you which order these are in, but one of the clearest memories of a horror movie I've seen would be, there's a movie called The Boogeyman, made in 1980. It's got remade about 27 times since. I clearly remember that. And then I remember Halloween 2, released in like 81. I clearly remember seeing that movie. So it's actually the first Halloween movie that I have any recollection of ever watching. And
my dad worked on that one.
What? Really?
Yeah, he did the Ben Tramer mask.
Like a celebrity. Does he still have the Ben Tramer mask? What? How do you not talk about this?
Well,
I'd be telling everybody.
My dad's been on the podcast. He's going to be on later this month. He's going to be talking about the 1988 version of The Blob, and he was on in I think it was March he was talking about his work on Beetlejuice, and yeah, he comes on, he talks about it, and I wrote recently about
better. I gotta
my
research my shows better. That's
Yeah, both
amazing.
my mom, Kathy Tharp, and my dad, Rob Tharp, worked at Dompo Studios for over 40 years. So
I'm like
yeah, they're
extremely
they're
jealous. I'm like humbled now.
they're very familiar with the Michael Myers
Why are you
mask.
talking to me? Okay, I gotta ask a question then. Has your father seen any of my videos?
Oh, yeah, this morning.
Okay, as somebody who worked on Halloween 2 with the Ben Turner man, what's he think of them? You can criticize me. It's okay. It's your show.
No,
What does
I
he
mean,
think of them?
my husband and my dad both thought that they were very funny, very amusing.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can say like it's endorsed by
Yeah.
somebody who's actually worked on the Halloween movies. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a question from my husband that I'm going to ask in a bit, but first, finish your story about
Well, yeah.
your
So
history with
yeah. So,
Halloween. I'm
but
sorry.
that's what it was. It's the first one. Halloween 2 is the first one I clearly remember, and I love it to this day. I love it. It is my favorite Halloween movie, hands down. I'm from the camp when you talk about Halloween people. There tends to be I'm okay with getting rid of the sister angle for the 2018 movie, right? Like, there's people that are okay with that. Blumhouse was okay with that. I'm not okay with that myself. I think I'm a fan of the sister angle, that Laurie is Michael's sister. All right. Now, I'm not a fan of anything that happened after Halloween 2, right? Like I've seen them all, right? I'm a Halloween fan. I'm a Michael Myers fan. To me, it's the original, the second part, and I'm still on the fence about the 2018 one. To be honest, I was there opening night and I saw it, and I remember loving it. And the more I think about it, I'm going to be honest about this: is it's a movie, it's a fanboy movie. 100% with all the throwbacks and bringing back Laurie and Michael together. I dug the way that how they got Michael to Laurie, because Michael wasn't hunting Laurie in the new movie. He wasn't. It's the doctor put them together. But I liked how he hunted Laurie in part 2. Right. So I'm from the camp of that. I'm also, apologize to your listeners out there, I'm also in the camp of I'm not a fan of the Rob Zombie Halloweens. Right. The backstory really ruined it for me. I liked how he created Michael as being such a violent, brutal killer in the first Halloween he made. I'm a fan of that. But the backstory just ruined it for me. But yeah, so it's one of the earliest movies I remember seeing. The third one, I mentioned The Boogeyman, 1980, Halloween 2, 81. But the original one is Stranger Calls. Do you remember that one? Have you checked the children, the babysitter movie?
Yeah.
I have memories of that terrifying me. Right? I had 3 older sisters, right? And I remember them watching it and it just scared the bejesus right out of me. But I can't remember in the order that I seen it, right? I saw it. It's one of the first 3 horror movies I've ever seen in my life. But the one I clearly remember is Boogeyman, then the Halloween 2. And I've always loved it. And the interesting thing about this is everyone who's known me my whole life, I grew up, I was obsessed with Michael Myers, Michael Myers, Michael Myers. I actually didn't buy my first Michael Myers mask until 2018, right? I never had a Michael Myers mask before that. Now, granted, being a child of the 80s, you really couldn't get a real Michael Myers mask. Like, you had a lot of the plastic ones, just the ones with the elastic or something, right? Like, it wasn't grained in for some reason. It wasn't grained into the licensing of, and people probably correct me if I'm wrong here, but I remember going like, I could never have a Michael Myers costume, right? And then once the masks became available, they were just so expensive because they were custom made, handmade, and they're beautiful. But once Trick or Treat Studios, I'm plugging Trick or Treat Studios here. People love them or hate them. I love Trick or Treat Studios, and I talk to them all the time, and I keep trying to get a mask from them because I have a great idea that I want to do, the video I want to make for their new mask, and they're like, "All right, we can't give it to you. We can't give it to you because the movie hasn't been released yet, right?" I'm working angles. I'm trying to get one. I have a fantastic Michael Myers video for a new mask when I get it. So people have to wait probably 6 months before I get that. But when Trick or Treat 2 bought one in 2018, I bought my first mask. And it's the one I wear all the time. And it's my favorite one. I have 6 Michael Myers masks from 6 different movies. The only one I wear is my 2018 because I love it. Now I do have there's a couple of videos of one like that doesn't stand up today because it's made in a COVID lockdown world, but it's my Saturday Night Live, my Saturday Night Fever video. I'm assuming you've seen that. If not, you're going to say yes. That's where I recreate the opening of Saturday Night Fever when when he's getting ready to go out, right? So I do everything. Like when I do like parodies of other shows, I do my best within my limited resources of trying to recreate them shot for shot. Like my Ferris Bueller one.
Yeah, you had the Ferris Bueller opening as well.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
just gonna say
And the
that.
only thing I missed from that was the equalizer that he adjusts because I just physically don't got one. I was trying to get my hands on it. My neighbor here, he has a junk removal company, and he always has weird stuff. He didn't even have one because that's what was missing from that. But my Silent Fear one, I wear the 78 mask that they made. And I actually have it on another one, I think, when I talk about Michael Myers discovers anti-aging cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
right?
have.
So it is.
That
right?
was one of the ones I showed my husband and my dad this morning.
Yeah, so like I try and fuck it up, but I love my 2018 mask. It fits me the best, and I've almost feel to the point where it's if people follow my videos, they expect to see that mask. I also
And that's
always
probably
try to-
like a good choice too for the younger audience because they might not be familiar with the 70s movies, but
If you've seen the
they may have
2018.
seen, yeah.
And I always try to end with part of the soundtrack from the 2018. Right, I always have it's the Shape Stalks Allison. If you've seen the movie when he's chasing the daughter after he just impales person on the fence.
Yes.
And it's got like the Purge sirens in it. That one there is my favorite opposed to the original theme. But I always like to end in that. Like I'll mix up my sound from the different views. And I have some people point that out. I get it more on Facebook, honestly, than I do on Twitter. But on Facebook, I'll get this a lot. It's like, why are you using this music from Halloween 2 when you're wearing the mask from 2018? It's like, really, come on. We're just having fun with this, right? I like that sound. It works for the setup. And then I throw it to the soundtrack from 2018. But yeah, I think I'm a lot more clever than I think I really am. So little things in it, right, that I try and do. I always try to have just a little bit somewhere like, okay, I'm going to say this here on the show because I said this before we started going that I'm not a political guy. I don't get into politics something, but I do have one thing, and that is I have an issue with TikTok right now. I don't know if you're
Yes.
aware of that. Yes.
Yeah. The TikTok sucks and Michael Myers burning.
Yeah,
it.
exactly. But I guess if you read some comments, some people get it, but there's a throw in that, and there's a throw to Sinead O'Connor when she ripped the Pope's picture up.
Yep.
On Saturday Night Live. That's why I chose to burn the sign.
Yeah.
And some people pick that up or not, right? But yeah, TikTok really bothered. My wife scrolls through TikTok all the time, and she's like, even my daughter, right? And they're like, Dad, I think you do really good on TikTok. You do really good, right? And so I'm like, all right, so I'll try and reformat some of my videos and re-edit them, put them on. My Ferris Bueller got taken down from TikTok for violating community standards. I have no idea why. And then I put up another one that got taken down, right? So I got, all right, I'm done with TikTok. So the thing that came out of it is it gave me an idea for a video, right? So I get ideas from little places. I'm going to make a little political statement, and I'm going to keep this running joke going that I hate TikTok. Because I found this awesome video from, I probably should know his name so you can find it, but if you go through my Twitter, you'll find it. This guy made an awesome video of his wife whacking him with a frying pan, right? It's a great joke. It's a fantastic joke. Honey, what would you do if someone said they give you $1 million, knock me out? And she instantly knocks him out. And I stumbled across it, right? And I'm like, this is brilliant. So I commented on it and said, too bad it's on TikTok because I actually love this video, right? But sometimes I think people follow me more than they really do because they didn't understand the TikTok thing. And his comment was, hey, dude, a good joke's a good joke regardless of what platform it's on, right? And he's right. And I'm like, no, I get it. It's good. I have an issue with TikTok because they ban. And then, of course, I use the opportunity to post a picture of me holding a sign and Michael Myers to try and get the joke home that, I'm still playing with this, right? But it was frustrating.
Sometimes with Twitter, just like so many things go by that it gets lost, and then sometimes things will resurface that are old. Like the other day, I commented on one of your videos that you had actually posted, I don't know, 4 days ago, and for me it was brand new and it had just shown up in my feed at that time. And then I went back and I'm like, wait a minute, like everyone else saw this 4 days ago. Why am I only seeing it now?
Yeah, that's a frustrating part, and that's where I think a lot of people were telling me, like the comment I get most on my videos is, man, you really should be on YouTube. You'd be doing so good on YouTube. And my response is, I am on YouTube. No one cares. But I understand because that's a frustrating thing for me, especially where I'm not lying. I probably made 50 to 60 of these videos and they get lost because the way Twitter organizes its timeline is insane, right? Because if I retweet someone's tweet that there's no structure to how your media is thing. So you may stumble across a video that I posted a week ago and go, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing it. I'm going to check this guy out. Then you go, and of course, you'll see my pin post, which is my Texas Chainsaw Massacre, trying to use the saw because I try and keep something up there that I think might grab your attention. But after that, you'd have to sit there for an hour scrolling through my timeline to find more videos of what it is. So it is frustrating. So I have been populating them on my YouTube. At least it structures them.
That's one thing. Like, you've been very interactive and cool on Twitter, but your Instagram page and your YouTube page are the ones that are the easiest to just go to and see the videos and be like, okay, have I seen all the new ones? Or
exactly. Yeah, and Instagram is there, right? But I don't play well on Instagram. Right, like I do. I live on Twitter because for some reason, like that's where I seem to be getting an audience, right? Because YouTube it's hard too, right? Like, because when you share your YouTube stuff or share it to Facebook or Twitter, it takes you away from the platform, right? So if you click on a YouTube video on Twitter, 9 times 10 it takes you to YouTube, so you just left Twitter, right? So I find that hard, and it's something I need to work on because if people are really liking my videos, and my videos do get lost, right? Because I have so many of them. And, there's certain ones that catch on, and there's a lot of them don't. For the record, a lot of them don't. And I have to say this as well, is my videos do better when someone else posts them, right? I've had issues with them in the past where I would find, I do it now. I've found my videos, especially I did one of the wipe it down challenges in the mirror.
Yeah.
If you've seen that, where it's Michael, then I
and
swipe,
then you
and
wipe
then Jason,
Jason,
and swipe back to Michael, right?
And that was a callback sort of to the Michael Myers gets like the wrong mask as a Christmas gift.
Well, yeah, like that's actually that I made the wipe it down before, right? And but yeah, I did it was a Father's Day.
See, I saw them out of order.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, right? But that video is on Instagram, and it's on someone else's page, and like I can't see the views, but there's got to be 20,000 comments on it.
Oh man!
But it's my video, right? So it's a frustrating thing. On Twitter, there's a guy. His name is Real Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
He stays in character. He has over 30,000 followers. I've spoken to him, and I let him post my videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he'll post it, but it does say it. The views head back to my original video, but it looks like it's his video, right? But it's interesting because I'll post a video and I'll get. Let's talk with the one I did with the engagement proposal. I think I got maybe 3,000, 4,000 views on mine. He posted it. Of course, all the views do come back to mine. So when you look at it on my page, but he got 45,000 views on it.
Oh wow!
So but he's not stealing it because I know he's doing it. And we have an arrangement, and he's great for that. And he does give me shout outs, right? Like he would say, bye, Craig. So it helps put traffic in, but it's interesting that if someone else puts your stuff out there. The one that really set all this off, if you really want to go through the timelines, in February, I had 35 followers on Twitter in February. Right now, just under 2,500 followers. So I made pretty good strides since February.
Oh, yeah.
Here. But you can probably testify this, but always promoting. I'm always trying to promote myself. I'm always trying to engage. I'm always trying to do it. But I made a video back in February of me shoveling my driveway after a snowstorm dressed as Michael Myers. Like, it's one of the first Michael Myers videos that I did. Right? I actually made that in January. And he posted it, and it's got over 100,000. I think it's almost 200,000 views on it. And I'm grateful for that because it's getting my video out there. But it's like you said, like the bad Photoshop guy, like it's not something full circle where people see the video, but they're not associating it as, oh, that's Craig's video. We should check Craig out, right? Like it's interesting, but I'm just happy. And like I said, he has my permission to do it because if he doesn't do it, most of my videos don't get a lot of views, right? Diane Prince, and we all know Darcy the Mail Girl from The Last Driving Show. She's done amazing to help me grow my page and grow my videos. She's one of the first people actually out there to actually encourage me to do this. And she'd always, if she catches a wind of my video, she'll always retweet it. She'll do her best.
Yeah, she's been a huge supporter for us, too. She was on episode 6 of the HorrorFam.com podcast, and Diana Prince is just with us, with you, with everyone.
How does she have the time?
I have no idea.
Right?
But
I think she has like over 60,000 followers, and she responds to everybody.
Yeah,
she is amazing.
So supportive.
what
Yeah,
she
of
does. It's
everyone.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say? I probably would have, stopped trying to promote my stuff if she wasn't so supportive, right? Because
Yeah.
it was at the end of the days, it gets frustrating. I was talking to someone today, and I want to give her a shout out, and I just gonna throw her out here on it. Her Twitter handle is Lisa Canes 84. She's an artist, digital artist, and she makes cute little things. And she's struggling right now, and I've talked to her today because she's not getting an audience for her stuff, and she wants to give it up. She's thinking about stopping, and I can relate to that. I can relate to feeling like you're not going anywhere, but you really should check out her stuff. She does fantastic little digital arts, and I want everybody to support her because I don't want to see somebody stop doing what they love just because they think no one cares about it.
Would you mind saying the name again?
Yeah, it's at Lisa Canes 84, so it's LISACAINES 84.
Okay.
There's cute little drawings, right? Like I think it's fantastic. I've spoken to her, and she's. I shouldn't say this because what if she changed her mind? Well, put her on the spot now. But she's going to do a digital drawing of me in character, right?
Mhm.
And but it is. I think if you're listening to this, I think you should keep going, right? Like if you love it, do it, because Twitter and social media, it is a beast that will eat and destroy you if you are the type of person who lives and dies on if this is how you're getting your validation. And trust me, I have major attention seeking behavior. Right, so it only takes a couple people to say they like my stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm going to keep doing it, right? But I do it because I love it. But I really want, if anybody's listening to this, want to take anything out from this, if I can give advice, is if you love it, keep going at it. You'll eventually find your audience. And I'm still trying to find my audience, but you just got to keep going and not stop. I just want to say that. And I also I'm going to give another shout out too, if I can do a shout out. You must know because I plug his stuff all the time. I have a friend of mine who I call the greatest Leatherface cosplayer on Twitter. It's Mike, and his handle is at Scrappa82. So SCRAPPA 82. That's Mike, and he's a great guy, and he does a Leatherface cosplay that is out of this world. Out of this world. And the only thing that really bothers me about it is that we don't live in the same community, because I am dying to be able to make a crossover video with this guy.
Oh yeah, I mean he could teach you how to use that chainsaw.
Yeah, it was a joke. That's actually one of the reasons I made the video, right? I'm gonna play this on. But another thing, I don't consider myself a cosplayer, but I guess I am. Like, this is all new to me. Like, because I dress as Michael Myers and perform as Michael Myers, people say, well, you're a cosplayer. So I accept it. But the thing that I find interesting is I don't know anyone else in my community that's doing this, and I would love to meet them because I am dying. I have so many ideas that I need other people for, and I just would love nothing. This is not an original idea. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm sure it's been done, and I really want to do it my way, but I am dying to do the Brady Bunch opening with all cosplayers. I'm dying to do it. I'm pretty sure if I Google enough, I'd probably find someone who already did it. But there's these things that I could do. Like I have made a couple cheat videos where I've edited stuff together, like my Magnum PI
Yes.
one that I did, and my A-Team that I did, the Kill Team, right, which is just editing characters into it. I would love nothing more than if people listen to this and you're a cosplayer and you want to somehow get together and we can collaborate. I would love it, because that's the next evolution of what I'm doing. I really think people will eventually tire of my Michael Myers doing what he's doing if I don't expand it and grow it. It needs to grow into something. And of course with the lockdowns and COVID, it's difficult. I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Hey, everybody, you can come stalk me. We only have one convention, right? It's called Halicon, and it's a small convention and it's very local. So like I've never attended these things, but even the opportunity to go this year, because I was going to go this year, and I was going to go on a mission to find other horror cosplayers in my community so that I can work and collaborate and grow this, right? It's frustrating talking about all the things I really haven't really talked about in detail about what I've done before this, but to quote Bane and Batman, I feel like no one cared who I was until I put on the mask. Right?
Yeah.
Because it is, and it's then I wonder though, my little jokes that I do wouldn't be as funny if it wasn't this obscure character doing it. If there's any magic to what I do, that's what it is. And you touched upon that earlier. It's like, well, it's this obscurity of Michael Myers mowing a lawn, Michael Myers trying to fold a fitted sheet, which is one of my favorite videos as well.
That's pretty much my reaction to folding fitted sheets as well.
I think that's the beautiful thing about it, is that everybody reacts to it that way. Like, how do you fold it? There's that woman on that Netflix show that she knows how to fold a fitted sheet. There's YouTube videos on folding a fitted sheet, but everybody gets frustrated. For most people, roll it up in a ball and throw it in the linen closet. That's what we do.
Yep.
So you had some questions? You had some family questions, or
yeah?
Let's go to the fan mail and let's see what they say.
Well, one of the questions that I had, you already answered before we even started this call, was if you actually vape in real life, or if you
I do, yes.
bought the vape as a joke to push the Pulp Fiction cover even further into absurdity by holding a vape instead of a cigarette.
Yeah, no, I do vape, and that was deliberate too, right? Because I was trying to, like, oh, she's holding a cigarette, I'm gonna hold the vape.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up that video. I made 2 of them, and one kind of flew under the radar. The other one, did very well for me. I think I hit about 50,000 views on the first one, but I did a second part to it as well. And, I have other ideas. Should I do a part 3, part 4? And then it's like, is this just beating a joke to the ground, But I have a history of doing that too. Like, I will find something funny and I will
follow your own advice.
It's not funny or whatsoever, right?
Yeah, follow your own advice, where if you enjoy it, do it.
And it's funny, but it's not an original idea. I've seen videos of people recreating, like, on TikTok and stuff, right? Oh, it's damn TikTok. No, but people have done it, right? Like, I stumbled across one on it, and I'm like, wow, that's really good. I think I can do it better. I'm not saying it is better by any means. Don't twist my words here. But, no, it was. And because people don't really know the history of the entertainment that I've done. I used to have a web show back in my 20s here in Halifax. I actually won some local awards for it, actually. But it was more risque. It was more, I really pushed the envelope on some of the stuff I did. And, as I got older, it's like, I just don't see myself doing that anymore. So if anybody's wondering, there actually are things I have done as Michael Myers where my wife, being the good critic that she is, has said, you know what, I think you went too far with that one. And considering the type of videos I've made in the past that, she's been around involved with them, and it was, okay, honey, you really think I went too far with that? Okay, well, we won't use that. So there are things that I've done. One of the ones that I actually cut from my second movie poster one was the poster for Striptease.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I filmed it and everything, shot. She goes, no, you can't use that. Why not? She says, because you're hanging out right there. It's like, oh, no, okay. Oh, shit, this looks great. Because no, you're exposed. You can't use it.
Well, the version that I saw, you're just showing some legs. So
I did Showgirls, yes, but I actually recreated the Demi Moore Striptease poster.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So
sorry, I was thinking of the Showgirls one.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That one got really popular, that one there. And I like to do that. I like to throw something. I like to really try and throw something that doesn't play with the audience, but something that is unexpected. And the movie poster recreations, they're fun because, they give me a good chance to express. And of course, the joke becomes that Michael Myers, he has better range. He's not just a slasher, right? That he can perform other stuff. But, I really try to get creative with them. And they're so fun to shoot. They're so fun to shoot because you're doing stuff. And I shoot them really quickly. Like, really, it took me longer, I think, to get positioned in the bed, in a skirt and red heels for the Pulp Fiction crate than it took me to do, like, the Dirty Dancing or the Titanic one. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I got my Jason mask. Let's talk about that for a second. It's just a cheap one. It's one I bought off Amazon for like $12, right?
Right.
I bought it solely for the Titanic, not the Titanic. The second one I did Hacksaw Ridge, where I'm carrying Jason, like he's wounded, and I'm carrying him. Like, it's a quick one, but I solely bought it for that, to do that. I'm like, well, how else can I use it? And then I used it when I did repost a video today of the Rod Stewart video, where Do You Think I'm Sexy, where I kind of just choose the mask and throw it away and stuff. So I try to have fun with it. I wish I had it for a video I did where I get caught watching Friday the 13th. And at the end, I kind of switch the music like he's coming down. And I'm kind of looking for him prepared.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I actually had the mask for that one, had someone come down. There are mistakes I make. I make a lot of mistakes in these videos, and some people point them out. I really wish I was smart enough to put a mustache on my Michael Myers mask when I did my Magnum PI. I get that an awful lot. Like, oh, how did you forget Magnum's mustache? And I'm like, I don't know. I should have. Like, even in the A-Team one I did, I kind of like, it's not me. Obviously, I'm using footage from other videos, but at the very end, you see me kind of tip the vape at the end of it. I'm doing a throwback to the guy always smoking the cigar, right? I love when I put it together. He's always smoking cigars, so I did the vape. But yeah, no, I try to be creative. I try to be a little bit different, but some things I think are funny, other people don't. Ones that I think, oh, this is going to tank, actually do rather well. My fake Shudder interview. Let's talk about Shudder. Can we talk about Shudder? How long's your show? This is going to be like an epic. This might have to be like a 3-part. I'm ranting like crazy.
It varies. I just let people talk as much as they want.
We have to break it up because I don't think I want to sit here and listen to me talk and ramble about. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Shudder. So if you actually are a loyal follower of me, you're probably aware that I like to poke at Shudder and tell them that they need to give me my own show. This has been a running joke for probably 2 months, maybe.
It's around April, I think.
Yeah, it started because my wife would tell you it's a very bad personality trait, whereas it doesn't take much to encourage me to do something. So you get the comments. A couple people like, man, you really need to have your own show. I think 3 people said that. I take those 3 people. In my head, I work it up to that 300,000 people telling me I should have my own show. So I started with plugging at Shudder. Shudder has never, ever, ever retweeted or acknowledged me. Right? It's Shudder. How many tags do you think they get in a run of a day? They can't respond to everything. Right? So it's a running joke. Obviously, do I think I deserve a show on Shudder? Absolutely not. For the record, it's a joke. All right. I'm not in this alternate reality where I believe what I'm doing is actually even anywhere close to entertaining enough to be on a streaming service of any sort. So I want to make that clear. But it's a fun joke. It just gave me something to do, and it gave me the opening to make my interview video that I made. That didn't do too bad on mine. I got about 7,000 views. It didn't really get picked up by anybody. So that joke led to that, where it kind of accumulated that I've spent, in my mind, since April building up this joke to finally actually use it in a video for a big payoff. The problem with that is, like I said, I don't have 300,000 people following me, so most people don't. There's probably a handful of people, and I think you are one of them, who probably picked up on, oh, this is a joke Craig's been making for a bit. Boom, now he's making a video about it. He's actually bringing the joke he's been trying to set up since April. Now he's actually going for the payoff of the joke. And that video there, I didn't expect to do anything at all, really. I was like, when I shot it, it's the first video, to be honest, that I actually reshot scenes for. I actually went and reshot because there were certain things that I shot and then put it together, and I was excited about it. So I asked a friend of mine, filmmaker friend, what's this missing? He goes, Craig, it's not bad, but did you think about doing this, this, and this? And I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. So then I went in and reshot it, and it was fun. And I really wish it would have been really nice to have like Shudder just reach out and go, no, right? That would have made my life. A rejection tweet would have made my life. It would have made it all worthwhile. But I'm like that too, though. I run jokes in my head, and I let them play out, and to me, it's played out. It's been going on since April. So, like I said, this is the big payoff of the joke. But in the reality of the fact, I'm the only one, and maybe 5 people who actually acknowledge that, oh, this was the payoff of you pretending that you were going to get a show with Shudder and going. And that's the downside too, as well, to this. But maybe it's the genius of my madness. Maybe that's what entertains me. I'm going back to this, is that I do this to entertain myself. That's how it first started. So I like putting these little jokes in. So if you're really, really hard follower of me, like really pay attention to things I say, because it's eventually going to lead off to something better.
Yeah, when you first started, kind of poking at Shudder, I was like, oh, well, maybe, but, most of the stuff is kind of like a lot of the choices that Shudder makes kind of confuse me. Like, they rejected Elvira. Why would they do that? But I'm like, well, Craig's stuff is really awesome. So, even if Shudder's not a good fit, he could probably maybe pitch to Quibi, since they're doing like short form entertainment. But
okay, I'm talking about this, and let's be realistic here for a second. I'm so thankful that you find it entertaining, and that means the world to me that people find what I'm doing entertaining. But I acknowledge the fact that I can never make money off of what I'm doing now. And the reason is because there's a whole licensing issue, right? I couldn't go on Shudder and do an hour show each week as Michael Myers. It doesn't work. There's licensing issues. I would need Blumhouse would have to authorize it and produce it or license it off, and they're not going to do that, right? So the reality, I am realistic here, that because I've had some people message me and say, you know what, they were trying to get a streaming platform off the ground, and they said, we would love to have your stuff on it. And then I throw that to them, like, I can't do this. I don't own the rights to Michael Myers. I can't make money being Michael Myers. The reality of it. So that complicates things even more, because hypothetically, let's just say Shudder called me on my bluff. What do I pitch? Well, seriously, like, what do I pitch?
Yeah.
This is we love what you're doing, Greg. This is really funny, but you can't do it as Michael Myers. Nobody's going to watch me without a mask doing exactly what I'm doing and find it as humorous. I don't believe so. I don't. I question my poster one. That's the only one I question. I wonder if I would have got more traction on recreating the movie posters if I wasn't Michael Myers. Because you got to understand, too, when I'm Michael Myers, I'm playing to a specific demographic. And I'm playing to the horror crowd. I'm playing to the people. And that's a very loyal crowd. If you can get the horror fans in your corner, they will support you, right? And they do. But
I wrote an article about horror fans and why they're just the best, most supportive people.
Well, they are, right? And I don't find they are even that competitive with each other, right? Not in the grassroots area that we're playing in. People tend to support what each other's doing, right? They're not like, oh my God, this guy here, Craig, man, look at his videos, man. We can't support that, because it's taken away from what we're doing, right? I don't find that happens, but it's such a gimmick that I created, and it doesn't work. Maybe my movie posters could have crossed over with just me, because then I would have got to a different audience. But there's little things like, I'm very surprised, to be honest, my engagement video didn't cross over. I really thought that would. I thought, oh my God, when I shot this, I'm like, this is going to be great. This is going to be on the news, man. They're going to be talking to you guys. You guys just had the greatest, weirdest proposal ever. He asked Ray and Michael Myers to stand there with a knife and say yes, right? Like it did. Like he, the other guy, the real Michael Myers counselor, he posted it, right? Which I got about 50,000 views on Twitter for it. It's on Facebook. I got like maybe 7,000 on that. My YouTube does absolutely nothing for me, but I don't know how to promote it. But that's the thing too. It's such a gimmick that I've created that if Shudder was to call my bluff, I don't even know what I would would pitch them, right? So.
Well, maybe you should start thinking about it, because, hopefully, the pandemic won't last forever, and, lockdown won't last forever, and, you might want to, you'll always be a Halloween fan, but if you ever want to move away from Michael Myers and perhaps create your own masked killer to play as, not to be, you could, create your own character. You have a background in acting. You have talent with editing, and you're creative. You could probably still work within, the horror genre with your own character and ideas, and really branch out and push things. And that's another reason, why it's like, let's get this out there now that the Michael Myers you love is Craig Layton, and, at some point he may be a different character that you will also love.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, and I do, I have, we're talking serious stuff here now. Like I've written horror scripts. I've had a couple short horror films that I would love nothing more to do. Problem is, now see, my buddy Ken in Cape Breton, who had a podcast called, you should be filming, that there's no excuse not to make a film. And I somewhat prove it. Like I contradict myself, where I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the connections to bring people together to actually try and make what I would say legitimate genre material. But on the other side of it, I'm picking up my camera almost daily and putting the effort into making these Michael Myers videos. Now, it's a lot simpler when it's just me and a concept than the scripts, right? Like I see these comments all the time, like on Twitter and stuff. People will ask for advice in general. I really want to make a short horror film. What should I know? Right. And, I'll chime in with my limited advice. And the big things I tell them is, number one, know your locations, right? Write your stories to exist in a space that you actually can get access to, right? That's a big thing. When people write a script, like me, I'm in Halifax, I'm not going to write a script that takes place on Hollywood Boulevard, because I don't have the means to get to Hollywood Boulevard to shoot a scene that takes place on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm going to write what takes place in my main street in my community or something. Like, that's the advice I give them, is write your story to fit your environment. The second advice I always give is watch your audio. You got to have good audio. Nothing ruins a low budget independent short like bad audio. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're people, and I'm not knocking people because I respect the fact that people do stuff, but when people are, you're trying to shoot. See, I shoot my stuff on my cell phone. I don't have a big camera, right? So the advantage of my character not speaking, you're not getting the wind, the echo, or the poor audio because I'm 8 feet from my phone. So that really ruins a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of mistakes people make that they should avoid. But yeah, like someday, I don't know. You know, I'm also realistic. I right now I love what I'm doing, and I do have thoughts of, do I take the mask off? Do I try and venture out and do something else? But, you know, I'm realistic as well. If you got to love what you're doing, and you have to be dedicated to what you're doing. Back in my 20s, you know, I took a run at it. I seriously did. I took a run at it, you know, and like, I was a union actor with Actor here in Canada. I was getting roles and stuff, and felt I was on a great path to actually make a career of this. And then we had a writer's strike, and then we had stuff go on in our community that stopped it. And then, you know, the real life comes in place. And, you know, let's be realistic here. Like, I want to provide for my family, and I don't want to have to make a choice I'm not in my life going to gamble my family. Like, I'm a father. I'm not going to gamble my family's future on possibility of something happening, right? That's just who I am. That's not saying that I'm not going to do stuff. I think the evolution of me is the mask will come off, and I will just keep trying to make short little things forward. And I specifically chose my run times, right? Like, I'm very short videos. The longest video I have is just over 2 minutes, and that's the Shutter interview, which I was nervous about the runtime on it, because I can shoot a 30-second video in 10 minutes. The average attention span on social media, I think it's 10 seconds. I think you have 10 seconds to grab someone's attention, or they scroll past you, right? So I chose my run times to be super, super short, to try and get in and out, try and catch your attention, maybe give you a chuckle. And then now I'm hoping that people turn on like the notification button that, oh, Craig has posted a new video.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's great that you put your family first, and you know, and that you're not really doing the Michael Myers videos for the money, and
No,
you know,
not at all.
and I don't know, I think that's really great, you know, that you're a dedicated family man, you have, you know, other interests and hobbies, and you're still creating, and then you're putting things out there that cheer people up, especially during this time when, you know, everything is just kind of, oh man, all the time. But you know, if you ever do have the time, or you know, the urge, our cousin, we interviewed them on episode 4. MutantFam.com is doing an online film festival where they're taking submissions digitally for their Mutant Palooza, and it's sort of an online film festival that they're having in November, and they're taking submissions until September 22nd, and they plan to do it every year. So if you or anyone else misses the deadline this year, you can try again next year. Yeah,
I
you
wonder if I could take
submit your
Mike Myers and blend them into one big long thing.
yeah,
You know what I
submit
realized?
your short films and
Some
stuff.
people
Get
haven't
yourself
picked
out
up.
there.
There's something I don't think a lot of this generation has picked up on, that there's someone else who my videos are inspired by, and it's actually more inspired by this character than actual Michael Myers at all. I've said it on Twitter a couple times, who inspires me, right? But my Michael Myers is Mr. Bean. Have you ever even thought of putting that analogy together?
Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Yeah.
My Michael Myers is
you
Mr.
have
Bean.
mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, like that's who it is. Like, I would, if I could do anything, let's just say someone said, Craig, we have the money to buy licenses. I would like to just recreate every Mr. Bean episode as Michael Myers. I think it would be a riot. And I could probably do it without licenses, because as long as I'm not making money, right? But it's like, I love Mr. Bean. I grew up on Mr. Bean. Growing up, for me, other than horror movies, heavily inspired by Mr. Bean. I love the Carol Burnett show. I grew up on the Carol Burnett show. These sketch comedies, the Kids in the Hall, obviously being Canadian, the Kids in the Hall were massive, and they're a big influence too. So I grew up on these great sketch comedies, right? But Mr. Bean is so brilliant that he was able to create the legacy he created, barely uttering a word. Amazing, right? So I take a lot of inspiration from Mr. Bean, like my Michael Myers. Every once in a while, I get a comment where someone's like, oh, another video of an iconic slasher being treated like an idiot. Right? It's like, well, yeah, okay, I respect your opinion, right? Like, but it is. It's like it's humor, and some people find it funny, some people don't.
Subjective.
It is subjective. It is, and let's be honest. If you're not a horror fan, like a real horror fan, like I'm not talking like these people that would love to critique heavily horror films, right? Like people do reviews and stuff, and I'm all cool with that, right? But let's start with a realistic thing here, right? Like if you shoot someone 6 times, they're not getting back up. Right? It's a movie, for God's sake, right?
It's entertainment.
It is, right? So I'd like to thank the people that really enjoy horror movies. And let's be honest, horror has become more horror comedy than true horror, in my view, of this in the new world order of horror. That we need to enjoy it. Like it's not. And now, I do plan on. And I'm not sure if I'm going to pull it off or not, but I've said this online as well. I'm going to attempt to start weaning off some of the comedy and try and stream Michael into more traditional Michael as we get closer to Halloween, like trying to bring a full arc to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like he's bored, Michael, trying to do different things, Michael, and then now as we're getting closer to, I feel pressure, and I put it on myself. That I created. I'm using one of the most iconic characters in horror history to entertain people. October is going to be. I have the opportunity in October to get a whole new audience because Halloween starts trending, social media, right? Like people,
right? Yeah.
Right. Halloween. October is from the character that I have. Is October should be a good month for me for branching out, and I'm going to try to, and I hope people stick with me, but I'm trying to, and I kind of have it going on now. You
gotta
things.
do like where it's like see the calendar and it's like October 1st, and it's like, wait a minute, there's only a few days left until Halloween. Yeah, you gotta have like the training montage, get in shape to go out stalking and everything.
I've seen a lot of those videos being done, right? But I've been thinking about it too. Like I have a buddy of mine, he owns a gym, right? And I'm thinking, like, it'd be really funny, right? I'm giving away concepts here, but I'm like, it'd be really funny to have him sitting there talking about, man, you really let yourself go. This COVID lockdown really affect you, man. But the big day's coming up and we need to get you in shape. And you flip to the other table, it's Michael Myers, talking Michael Myers. Right?
Yeah.
And then try and get in the course. But then again, I don't have to do that. I can just have my out of shape guy wake up on October 28th, do a training montage like Rocky, and then he's in shape, right?
Yeah.
But I have done something in my videos that I'm not sure if people fully have noticed or not. Somebody has. I don't remember who said it, but Michael has gotten a tiny little bit more impatient in the videos. He's stabbing things a lot more than he used to. I stabbed the hell out of that basketball. For that video, right? And like the stabbing is coming. He's not as much. I'm trying to at least get a little bit of his rage trying to peak at the end. Still in a comedic way, of course, right? Like I think it's funny that he stabbed a basketball.
Yeah.
Right. So little thing like the TikTok, like I stabbed the hell out of my phone and I smashed it. And of course, for the record, it was a prop phone. It was an old iPhone that didn't work. So it didn't actually smash my real phone, but some rage coming, right? So yeah. I'm going to try and bring an arc to this character. And then, of course, if it goes to plan, I should be able to create some interesting concepts with my character up to Halloween. And then, of course, the big day also is going to be November 1st.
Yeah.
The character's going to flip around again. That's if I can keep this character fresh and people entertaining that long. Still want to watch me doing my little Michael Myers video.
Speaking of building up rage, I did have one more question for you from my husband. My husband, Frank Spear, at Frankenspear on Twitter. He is a huge Dead by Daylight fan. And in one of your videos, you were playing Dead by Daylight as Michael Myers, and he was wondering if you were a Dead by Daylight player in your everyday life, and if you main as Michael Myers when you play Killer.
Okay, I do play Dead by Daylight. I'm not a big gamer, to be honest. I don't play it every day, but my wife is more of the gamer than I am. She's a big Friday the 13th fan. She plays that game a lot. Unfortunately, with licensing affect that, but I do play Dead by Daylight. And of course, to be honest, when I really was playing it, 9 times out of 10, I play as Michael Myers. Yes, I do. But my favorite character to play is the Legion.
Ah, okay.
Just because I like his sprint burst. I like that I can sprint across the thing because that's a little frustrating. But I do play it. I don't play it daily. Of course, that was once again a very strategic placement in my video
Yeah.
that I made, that I had to have myself in costume playing
Oh yeah,
Dead by
of course.
Daylight. But I
But
do,
we were
yeah, like,
curious, like, oh, like Frank was especially curious. He talked about Dead by Daylight. He was on episode 10. He went on his love-hate rant about Dead by Daylight, and he
yeah.
plays it every day. And
No, I hit points where, to be honest, I haven't played it much since I started making my videos. To be honest, it was.
well, there's an event going on right now. You can get extra blood points.
Yeah. Well, I have a love-hate with that too, man. Like I do. I find the politics of it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like survivors hate the tactic you use as a killer, and I'm a killer. When I first started playing Dead by Daylight, for the record, I was a survivor because I couldn't get the hang of killing. I just couldn't figure out to kill. It made me dizzy. The first-person view.
Oh my
then
god.
I moved to the
First-person
killer.
games make me kind of nauseous.
So then when I moved to the killer, yes, but it's like they rage if you kill them.
Oh yeah.
It's like, that's my job. I'm like, that's what are you supposed to do that? And like I turned off the messaging on it because we
that was probably a wise decision. Yeah.
Because this is my view on it. All right. When you're first learning how to play, I think camping is an acceptable tool for learning. Okay, because you have to kill someone. All right, and then you get used to people taking one folk, this and that. Camping is not against the rules. It's actually encouraged as a learning tool from Dead by Daylight manufacturers. Okay, but survivors will pallet loop for days, which really pisses me off. If you pallet loop me and then body block me when I'm trying to put someone on the hook, if I get you, you're going on that hook, and I'm not moving until you're dead, right? Because there is, right? Like that, they have these things that they can do that are against the rules.
Yeah.
Right? Like body blocking is against the rules, right? And I never knew what that was until I was playing it. And what if he's body blocking? And I'm like, why can't I put this guy on a hook? Why can't I? Because somebody was squatted down at the hook that I couldn't see, right?
Yeah.
Or jamming into you, right? Like it's, and of course, I'm really on a rant now, but it's tunneling. They hate tunneling.
Yeah.
Why would I go after a healthy person if I can chase this person who's limping around? That's my philosophy on it, right?
Yeah.
Hate me if you want.
And then with the Michael Myers has that like stalking mechanic, so you kind of have to, always be watching someone.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like that's one of the frustrating parts about his character, though, is that like you actually have to stand still for so long to get charged up to be able to basically, the whole point of it is then you take him down with one swipe, right? Which is great, right? But I'm not a very good player. Right? I think the highest I think I ever got in a ranking of it, I think I hit 13.
Oh
right?
wow!
But I was playing a lot at that time, right? But I'm always about 17, right? So I do climb up, right? And I don't know, I just found playing with the Legion, I liked it. Like I liked the fact that I could rage and I could leap through the window. Or I can leap the pallet opposed to standing there and smacking it, right? But I hate pallet loopers. I honestly do. And there's a video that I've never made, and I don't know why I haven't made it yet. My dogs, I have one dog, when I try and take him out, he doesn't want to go out. And he loops around the kitchen. And it's pallet looping. And I'm like, oh, he's pallet. Why don't I film this? We're just Michael Myers with the thing, trying to chase him around and making a Dead by Daylight joke.
Yes. You should do that now while the event's going on.
I probably might get some traction on that, right?
Yeah.
But it's pallet looping.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Go for it. That's awesome.
That's the thing, too. It's a lot of stuff. Like, I have ideas that I don't film, and there's ideas. I have a couple that are brewing. I don't like plugging stuff because then people get excited, because I have some people there who are kind of all of a sudden disappointed that they're so loyal to me that they wait each morning to see a video, right? And that means a lot to me, but I haven't been as active as I was because it's very difficult. Do math here for a second. Do math. How many days have we had since COVID started, right? And try and do a video every single day. And I was.
Yeah.
I think I got probably like 40 videos in a row, and that's what people attracted to. And now I'm down to a couple a week, and I'm sorry, I recycle some older ones that didn't do well, right? Because, when I started it was 35 viewers. Now I'm up to 24, almost 2,500. Of course, I have early videos that only 50 people watched that I think are good. So, I'll pull them out and recycle it it's new material to 95% of my followers. And my Fridays, I recycle videos an awful lot on Friday because I made probably 6 videos solely dedicated to the last drive-in, right? That I would recycle out on Fridays. Maybe I'm not as current as people think, and I'm letting secrets out of here, but please, people understand that it's very hard for me to come up with fresh material every day. But I got a couple that I want to do.
You're
I have
also,
a really big.
you also working a full-time job. You're being a full-time dad, and full-time husband. Yeah,
I got
there's
a parody
only
one
so many hours in the day.
I got a parody one that is cooking along in my head right now that I want to do. I love doing parodies. I just love them. I just find taking. I don't know. I really enjoyed my Ferris Bueller one. I think it came out pretty damn good. I really do, considering how it
I
was.
like that you made the hair on your Michael Myers mask
Yeah.
match in the shower.
I tried so hard. I could not bring myself to wet it. Because
You still made it stick up, though.
Yeah, I took the brush and did my best to stick her up and sing into the thing, right? Little things. I try and do the little thing. If I have some old videos that were made probably about a year or so ago, right? And every once in a while surf them, but I have some photos and stuff, and you'll see a tag on my mask. I have some videos where there's still a tag on my mask, and I couldn't bring myself to remove the tag, right? Like, I love my mask, right? And I had no intention of ever using them, right? So I kept the tag on. And then people would point out, what's this tag on you? And then finally I did a photo shoot at work one day where I recreated the, I think it was H2O when she's looking through the circular window. Laurie and Michael meet for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recreated that photo, and that's when I finally removed the tag off my mask for that. It was like, because it was showing up as a weird glare in the picture. So I had a hard time pulling it off. Right, but I do. These masks mean a lot to me. So I'm actually worried now because I've been wearing mine so much. Right? I'm like, oh my God, I clean it. I take good care of it. But it's another reason why I'm pestering Trick or Treat Studios all the time. I'm like, come on, guys, come on. You claim to love my stuff, and they tell me we love your stuff. Can we work together? Give me a mask. I got a great idea for the new mask. Fantastic, great idea for a reveal for those unboxing videos people do.
Mm-hmm.
I have an epic one prepared for
Ooh, that's exciting.
to pull it off. Right, it's gonna be probably the most epic one I ever do, and I swear to God, if I pull this off from the opening shot, you're gonna immediately know what movie I'm doing a parody. And you're going to think it's fantastic. I hope so anyway.
Well,
that a lot of pressure on
is actually... Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that.
That's probably like 6 months away, though, until I get my hands on a mask.
Yeah, well, until then, and so that we'll all be following you and ready to see this if and when it happens, and I have a feeling it will. Please let everyone know where they can find you to follow you online.
Yes, please. Yes. I'm sure you probably put this in a blog, though, but I am on Instagram. My Instagram I don't have a lot of people. I think only about 100 people follow me on Instagram, but 90% of my videos are up there. The only videos that aren't up there are some that ran over their 1 minute run times, and I just didn't really want to re-edit some of the stuff, but they're all up there in order. My YouTube I have a lot of videos to upload to YouTube that I've been featuring on Twitter just because I wasn't using YouTube for a while, but YouTube, they're released in order, so you don't got to go through my timeline of trying to find new videos. I've tried to start recently putting in the description of my videos on Twitter new video, so that people will see maybe the first words new video, and if they're fans of it, they'll check it out. But please follow me, find me. I enjoy doing this, and I really, really appreciate every single supporter, every single follower, every single view I get, and I follow back, and I do my best to support everyone else out there.
Well, since this is audio and not everyone reads the descriptions or goes to the transcript, we should probably say aloud what your Twitter handle and Instagram handle and all that are. So
yeah, they're my Twitter handle and my Instagram handle is the exact same. You can find me at Craig Layton07. That's me there. I am on Facebook. Craig Layton. You can find me super there. I do post all of my Michael Myers videos there, and they are public posts, so they're don't have to add me as a friend on Facebook to see my videos. You can just look me up, and if you like the videos, obviously comment, share, retweet.
Okay, and
I do this because I enjoy it, and I'm surprised people enjoy it enough to have this massive conversations that you and I have had today. This means the world to me. I apologize if I got off on rants and people and I bored you because I go everywhere. This is the way my mind works, which is really funny. If you actually knew me, to think that I could actually focus for 10 minutes on the task of making my video.
So in case people are listening and not reading, that's Craig Layton, CraigLayton 07. And you can find him on Twitter and Instagram. And if you just look up Craig Layton on YouTube and Facebook, you should be able to find him there as well.
One of the advice people have told me, because I've thought about changing it, because the handle is BadPhotoshopGuy, but we don't really care about that. If you look for @CraigLayton07, you'll find me. My profile photo, I've been told that I can never change that because people love it so much, and that is basically the Michael Myers. It looks like he's naked, crunched over with the knife up. That was from an underwear video that I did, and I reposted that too. I tried to have fun, the fact that maybe I'd get more followers if I actually showed some cleavage. So Michael Myers in a bra, if that's fun and entertaining. I find it funny as hell. But yeah, you'll find me, Michael Myers, and you'll see me crunched over like I'm trying to cover up because look like I'm naked with the knife. That's the same avatar on YouTube, same on Twitter, and same on Instagram. I think my Facebook may actually be a picture of me, which is a mystery. I don't think a lot of people actually know what I look like.
Yeah, well, they would if they were really paying attention. But
paying attention, there's some hints to who I am.
Yep.
And of course, if you go to my YouTube, you're going to find a lot of old stuff that actually has me. I joke about it when I did plug it on Twitter, pre-masked Craig. So I do have most of my stuff is entertainment purposes. And I try to make funny videos. I have some prank videos on there.
All right. Well, thank you for being on, Craig.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad we talked. And like I said, this might be a 3-part episode, but I appreciate it. And, I'd love to come on again sometimes. If you're guestless and you need a filler, I can come in and talk about other stuff.
Alrighty. Well, we'll keep in touch, and I'll keep following you, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Hope to keep on impressing people, and I hope you still find it funny.
All right.
The day you stop finding it funny is, I guess, the day Craig stops making Michael Myers videos.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so please laugh, like, share. You know what? It'd be really funny to make Shudder say no to me.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm going to say this before you cut off here.
Yeah.
If anyone from Shudder actually listens to this, I'm not actually trying to get a show in here. I would think it'd be hilarious if you could put a rejection tweet out. That would make my life. I'm the only person that would love to see Shudder go, no. I think it'd be funny. Make everything worth it to me.
All right, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Craig and poke at Shudder and get them to tell him no.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to start a petition to get Shudder to reject me. Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.